Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, Abruzzo is a region not often talked about when it comes to buying property in Italy. However, once considered a poor region of Italy, it has now almost caught up with the GDP national average. Today I want to give you my opinion on the best 3 places to buy real estate in the region. And again, like other regions in Italy, it was very difficult. Now, I considered Pescara, and Pescara is the most populated city of Abruzzo and has an airport and some nice beaches as well. It also has a university and 4 railway stations. And I also considered too the lovely Francavilla a Mare with its lovely beaches. But unfortunately in both places, average property prices are over 1,700 euros per square metre. That said, both nearly reached the top 3. And I also considered other places, for example, L'Aquila and Avezzano, but neither of them quite made the cut as well. Having said that now, here are my top 3 places to buy property in the region of Abruzzo. And coming in at number 3 is Vasto. Now, Vasto is a hidden jewel on the coast of Abruzzo. Vasto has a lovely medieval old centre which has an impressive castle, parts of which date back to the 14th and 15th centuries. You also have the Vasto Cathedral, which dates back to the 13th century, the Church of Santa Maria Maggiore, whose origins date back to the 12th century, and the Palazzo d'Avolos, which hosts an archaeological museum. Vasto has a population of around 41,000. And what is lovely about this place as well is that you can wander through its quaint narrow alleyways and come across many churches and mansions and also Roman excavations. Of course, around a 20-minute walk away from the centre, you have the beautiful waters of the Adriatic Sea. Now, the coast of Vasto has Vasto Marina, which is really a popular destination for holidaymakers and has lots of hotels and good eateries. Around Vasto you will find various protected nature reserves, one more beautiful than the other. And property prices in Vasto, I think, are quite reasonable, on average just over 1,400 euros per square metre. And for such a lovely place in Abruzzo, I think that's not too bad. Now, Vasto is about 73 kilometers by car from Pescara, so that's a bit of a disadvantage. There is a bit of a distance. There is a direct train from Pescara to Vasto San Salvo, which is about 7 kilometers from Vasto, and the train takes just under 1 hour. So anyway, coming in at number 2 is Ortona. Now, with a population of 23,000 inhabitants, Ortona is a lovely coastal town. Ortona is actually steeped in history. In 1943, it was the site of a bloody battle known as the Western Stalingrad. And Ortona's best known tourist attraction is the well-preserved Aragonese Castle. It stands on the highest point of the city with a great view over the coast. Now, the structure actually dates back to the 13th century. However, there are many other attractions in this place, including some nice churches, a cathedral which dates back to the 12th century and which has a museum too, plus a lovely lighthouse. And Ortona, of course, has some wonderful beaches. And probably the nicest thing to do in Ortona in the summer is to take a walk along the eastern promenade, from which you can enjoy really a lovely view of the coast. Now, there are good restaurants here as well, and Ortona actually has its own commercial port with a wide range of services, including cargo service, national and international shipments, cranes, and engineer repairs. And best of all though, property prices here are very low. On average, they're just above 1,000 euros per square metre. Now, for a coastal town in Italy, I think this is very, very low, and that's why I've put it in the second position. And Ortona is only about 30 kilometers from Pescara, and by train it only takes 23 minutes and costs around €3. Very cheap and great if you're coming in from abroad. If you go to Pescara and then you go to Ortona. Anyway, coming in at number 1, and this may surprise a few of you, is the city of Chieti. Now, Chieti is a very underrated city in Abruzzo. It has a population of just over 50,000 and is really rich in history. Chieti is divided into two parts. Chieti Alta, which is on a hill overlooking a river, and Chieti Scalo, which is a more commercial and industrial area. Chieti also has a shared university with Pescara, and Chieti has a lot of attractions, including a Roman theatre, Roman temples, a lovely cathedral, many beautiful churches, many noteworthy museums, including an arts and archaeological museum. And Chieti actually has its own theatre and has a railway station which is on the Roma to Pescara line, and a very large park as well. Now, for such an amazingly lovely place, property prices are very cheap at only on average €1,000 per square meter. And again, I will say, for a city with so much to offer, it is rare to find such low real estate prices. And let's not forget, Chieti is only about 10 kilometers away from the Adriatic Sea, so the beaches are never too far away either. Now, by train, Pescara is only about a 20-minute ride away and only costs about €2. And I just want you to imagine this. 100 square meter property on average in Pescara will cost you €170,000 or just above. And only a 20-minute train ride away in Chieti, it will cost you 100,000. So 100,000 instead of €170,000 for a 100 square meter property. And many like myself would argue that Chieti is actually, I think, a nicer place to live than Pescara. But before I end this video, I'd love to know your thoughts. Have any of you considered buying in this region? Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.